turns around and runs. I'm like, yeah, that's what happened to cockroaches, man. You set light on them, they run.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh, damn, Don.
yeah.
Lucky Boys Podcast.
People start judging all these things about, our motivation. And I'm like, well, maybe you're being racist just because you see as a Chinese person setting up. Like maybe I'm not supposed to speak up, right? I'm supposed to just like take
Right.
it as it is. Oh yeah, just a shirt. I'm like, what do you mean just a shirt? I mean, thank God she put it out.
Just a shirt.
Just a shirt.
Well, if someone
But she's okay.
someone poured kerosene on your grandma's back
Right.
and lit her on fire, I am positive you would want immediate justice.
So let me share with the viewer what she said to me. I said, wow, when she told me I got burned, I said, I looked at her, I'm like, shit, how did she be so composed? Right? I know her for 20, she's been a member for like 20 years. On and off, I don't have that much interaction with them, because I'm the board chair. I just show up once in a while and just say hello. I don't work there. People just think that, Don, it's your nonprofit. You must be making money. I was like, come on, man. I volunteered for 24 years. Why don't you guys try that? Right? Mm-hmm. Don't judge. Just like I'm making money off this stuff. Yeah, maybe there's a lot of money on this. Why don't you try it? Right? So then I talked to this grandma, and she go, oh, those are punks. Kai Jai. I'm like, wow, you just like,
Yo, that
you just
tire,
just
like,
brush it off like that. He goes, I've seen worse. I'm like, what?
Her 90 years of living.
90 years.
Wow.
She says, I grew up when the Japanese were bombing China. I got over to Hong Kong, and then they bombed Hong Kong and I had to sneak back into China. He goes, well, go to Hong Kong to Choisan. Took me 10 days. I still remember 2 of those days. I slept on the pier for 2 days because I have to wait for the next ferry to get them cross the river.
yeah.
It's just that alone. And then when they find out my father was from San Francisco, they said, you must have money. So they try to kidnap her and they have to take her in the middle of the night to hide somewhere. And she goes, I seen planes of bombs, and they told us if a bomb drops and you got burned, this is what you do. Like little does she know what she learned
Prepared
in
her.
war atrocities happens in Bensonhurst, right?
She's the poster child of they can't burn us all.
Right. So she
That's
says
crazy.
he says, oh, go to Kwai Jai, they're punks.
Yeah.
I see much worse people than these guys. I'm like,
Wow.
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 Right. And then she said,
Grandma's gangster.
right.
Yeah,
The
the
rest you heard,
fortitude.
you heard what she said to China Mac and to Jin and these guys. Said, hey, we want justice. I'm so proud that you guys are standing up. I'm so, and people always like question me. Oh, Don, did you coerce her? I'm like, does she look coerced in that
What?
video? Right. Oh, you're putting her in danger.
How is she being put in
I said, I'm
danger?
in danger. I said,
How's she being put in danger? By speaking up?
right. So I said to her, do you feel, he says, so she says to me, I'm 90 years old. What are they going to do to me?
Right. Do you understand
I'm
that?
looking at you, what I'm doing.
Like, that
She's
could have
so
been your
brave,
grandmother.
yeah.
That could have been your mother. That could be any one of us. That could be any one of us being
Right.
like, we're told we haven't hurt anyone. We haven't done anything to anyone. And then we're just walking down the street. And if someone comes up to you, your significant other, whoever, someone that you care
Right.
about, or someone that you know, and then they just pour.
But
you and-
can I be honest? I told my mom this story, and I told her, like, if that ever happened to you, to anyone I see on the street, a woman being harassed, I'm gonna step in. And my mom said, "You're crazy. Don't do anything, even if it's me." I'm like, but her story, the grandma's attitude towards this, to me, is not typical.
It's not typical.
It's
I
not
totally
typical.
agree with you.
Right.
I totally agree with you on that part. And I think that's why it's amazing that she's telling
It is
her
amazing.
friends. And, and that's also the reason why, I'm a frontline worker, right? We're delivering meals to seniors and stuff like that. And, I don't really go to public events, anything like that. But when China Mac decided to go, I got a lot of calls, don't go. All right? He's a gangster, blah, 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 blah. And then I hear this drama about raising money. And I told my daughter, initially she said to me, Dad, are you going to go? I said, my initial reaction, I wasn't going to go. Because of COVID, not because of anything else. But when I heard all of this stuff, I said to my daughter, I said, Victoria, I have to go. And you're coming too.
What's her reaction?
She goes, well, you gotta observe social distancing, and then we're gonna, she was worried about
You
that.
gotta be safe, Dad.
She
You gotta be
gotta,
safe.
she gotta say daddy, because she's with me delivering food also, right? So because we're dealing with a very vulnerable population, right?
Yep.
And so I said I have to go, and I have to explain to her. I said I have to go, and because otherwise, people are gonna write these other stories and said he doesn't have the support of the family when he actually has the support.
Mhm.
And as if nothing else, I need to be there for that symbolism. Then of course I went there and I said, I don't need to say. So they said, you want to say something. By the time I got there, we were late waiting for Eric Adams. He was another event, so that's why we were late getting there. So they said, would you like to speak? I said, no, because I see that the crowd was already, I'm like, I had nothing to this conversation, right? At that time, I'm like, hi, I had zero to the conversation. In fact, I explained to my daughter, I said, sometimes leadership means taking a step back, right?
Yeah.
It's not always in the front,
Yeah.
right? In there, I knew what was my role is to let people
See you.
see
your
me
symbol,
there, that we are with them.
supporting. Yeah.
Actually,
Right.
I love what you just said there. I think true leaders, really lead from behind.
Yeah,
You
because
know?
I'm not, look, listen, it's a different generation. You guys know what you're doing. I add nothing, I'm observing, learning, but again, I know that what I'm going to add to that conversation. I'm not going to, if I add no value, like someone said, speak only when you add. This is one thing I learned from Giuliani, right? I mean, the thing is,
back in the
the thing is
back in the
administration,
90s, Giuliani,
right?
not
now.
Yeah,
He's a crazy man. But he said, or is it Charles Wang? He says, we're at a meeting. He says, guys, speak only when you add value to the conversation. Right? Silence is better than that. So it's okay if you don't. So I think when I went there, I said, hey, I don't have, But you know what happened? Then online, people say, oh, they did not allow him to speak.
Oh, total
What?
bullshit.
Yeah.
Is this at the first rally in Benson?
The first one. Yeah. They said,
Okay.
oh, they didn't allow him to speak. I said, no, that's bullshit.
They
I
didn't
had,
allow him to
I said,
speak.
I had no value. I
Who
said,
the
I'm glad
fuck
you
is saying
asked.
these things?
This
man?
is the whole crap mentality, right? So when I ran for office, that was the things that I said to my wife. I said, you're going to know whether you had a good husband or bad husband because they'll take everything out about me.
Mhm.
So I said, well, I think you did okay, honey, because the only thing they said about me was his name is spelled Lee. He's not really Chinese. He's Korean. That's from your elected
Whoa,
official.
that is crazy.
That's from your
How
elected
is-
official
first of all,
right
how is-
now.
How is that a bad thing? Like,
Right, that's a-
even if you were Korean. I mean, if you were Korean right now sitting across from me, it changes nothing. And you still have the same resume,
Right.
Same person, but you're Korean. But doesn't
Right.
change.
But
Even
they were telling all the seniors here,
It's
don't vote
discrediting
for
him
him.
in the-
Vote for the
towards the
Chinese
Chinese
candidate,
yeah, Chinese
not
community.
the Korean candidate. That's our own people. That's the same. That's your elected official
Well,
right now.
They didn't count that you're in the boots to the ground. You know the community. You know the seniors. You know everyone
And
here.
the senior, the one that told me, he said they said
Yeah.
that about you. He said, "Are you really Korean?" I'm like,
I speak
"That's it."
Chinese.
No, he says it doesn't matter that you're Korean. I voted for you anyway. Is what they said to me, right?
Right.
And I'm like, who said I'm Korean, right? Then the other one was like, oh, he's really arrogant. He doesn't really care community. He'll come in, do something, take credit, and then he leaves. I'm like, really? Right? But I said, if that's the only thing you got, I said to my wife, I said, your husband's pretty clean.
But still, man, words like that are so fucking annoying. When you know it's not true,
Yeah.
when you're putting in all the work, when you're actually the opposite of that and they're saying, no, you're that, it is completely infuriating.
But they're like roaches, right? So when I see them, just like that leader, I'm not going to name her name, but maybe one day. but this is head of this major democratic organizations in Chinatown, the one who started it all. And they said to me, oh, I thought you were running next year. This other one, I said to them, I said, did you? I said, you know, you are one of these local democratic leaders in this district. People are telling me that you're saying that about me online, right? Turns around and runs. I'm like, yeah, that's what happened to cockroaches, man. You shed light on them, they run.
Yeah.
Ooh, damn, Don.
Yeah,
Right.
it is.
Jeez,
Right?
jeez.
But this is but it's okay. Like I said, we'll do our piece. I see hope in what you guys are doing and what the new media will bring. That we don't have to compete with the soundbite, and then where the whole narrative is already painted.